Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arizona Fitness Biography. My name is Ivan Almonte, and today I'm bringing you a very special person to share her story. A person that I met many years ago, and all I know is how kind, friendly, attentive, and dedicated she is. Fitness professional, former competitor, great friend, the one and only Olivia Pellish.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome,
Thank you
Olivia.
for
Thank you.
having
Come on,
me.
get up and give me a
I
hug.
know, I know.
Good to see you. It's been years, but
10 years, I think. I think this is our 10-year friend
10 years
anniversary.
friend anniversary.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
let me introduce this process and by saying how grateful I am of the friendship. I know it's been so like passing by type of
Yeah,
friendship, but it's been increasingly fulfilling.
agreed.
Getting to know your boyfriend, get to see you guys, and always I believe that this is how people in our industry should treat each other, and I'm
Agreed.
grateful that we happen to be two parts of that equation. So, what's up? Tell me about you.
What a crazy decade.
What a crazy decade indeed.
I have this, we'll get into it later, but I have some funny memories from when I first moved back down to Phoenix and started my fitness career here. And you were one of the first people I met in Phoenix fitness industry, period. Like, you're the first face I remember.
Oh,
So I
wow.
think it's really full circle to be here right now and to be talking through.
I'm super grateful.
It's just great. You know what I mean?
All right, well, let's talk about you first.
Okay.
Let's talk about you, who you are, because the objective of this entire podcast,
Yeah.
if you will, is to give a platform to the person to be able to say what people don't know.
Hmm.
It's easy to look at Instagram and Facebook and blah, blah, blah. But you see the athlete, the
Yeah.
coach, the trainer. Let's talk about the person. You say you were born in Ohio
I was born in Dayton, Ohio.
and grew up in Michigan.
And
Tell
grew up
me
in
about
Michigan.
your early years.
Well, first of all, we are strictly Ohio fans in my house. So just because I grew up in Michigan does not mean, I don't know if you're aware, there's a huge rivalry.
Of course, of
You
course.
know what I mean? So I was born in 1994, which is 30 years ago.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So mom, dad, brothers, sisters. Tell me about
Got
that.
a younger sister, a younger brother, mom and dad. And
What are their names?
we got, so mom and dad, Brad and Jen. Funny enough, we always make Brad and Jen jokes, like, the only ones that lasted.
They are
the
the
only ones that matter.
originals.
Yes, the originals. The longer lasting Brad and Jen. Little sister's name is Emma. Brother's name is Daniel. And at one point in time, all of us were athletes. So we grew up in a very athletic household, spent a lot of time learning how to exercise from a very young age. I mean, I remember at 6 years old running races with my mom, training
That's
for
very
her
cool.
10 milers with her at 6 years old.
Wow.
Gymnastics early on, ballet early on.
Your dad, what did he do? What kind of work he did? Where is he from?
So my dad is a pastor. You're gonna make that face a lot. I love this already. My dad is a pastor, so I was a pastor's kid. All the things that you hear are true. My mom, to make things even more interesting, is a Christian school teacher.
Okay.
And all the things you hear are true.
So, pastor, what is a Pentecostal, Baptist?
Baptist, non-denominational.
Non-denominational.
Sure.
Okay.
So,
and your mom was a Christian teacher.
School teacher. Mm-hmm.
So at a Catholic school.
Christian school. So
Christian
private
school,
private
okay.
Christian school here.
Private Christian school.
And before I was born.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
What kind of teacher is she?
English.
And what's your other than being a pastor? What else did your father do?
A lot of hands-on outreach type stuff. So he would organize mission trips with the church, and we would travel. And he's always very, very well traveled and has a lot of friends.
So he's been in the ministry.
Yeah, absolutely.
For many years.
Many years.
The church is still in Michigan, or
so we're here now, but he actually doesn't work directly with the church anymore. Now he works for a nonprofit outreach ministry.
Okay.
So European Christian Missions. He'll thank me for that.
Okay. So what does he do specifically?
He works directly with missions in different countries in Europe. So I can't speak directly to a lot of things he does, but he's traveling a lot. He's working with missionaries. He's working with
refugees. On the side, he's like a CIA agent.
Right. So I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know what he does exactly.
What about mom? What about mom? Is still working?
So she might smack me for saying this, but she is actually pursuing her doctoral degree right now. So
that's a remarkable.
It's fantastic, and she should be.
All right, so Brad and Jen, and you're the oldest of three.
Yep.
Brother and sister. What's the second one?
My sister is the second one. She's oh gosh, how old? She's 27.
And what is her name?
Emma.
Tell me something about Emma.
Emma's hilarious. Emma can make anybody laugh.
Okay.
She will like find your sense of humor and dig into it and make you laugh no matter what. She's so funny.
And your brother's his name is
Daniel.
Daniel. How old is Daniel?
24.
So you guys are like 4 years apart.
3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So Daniel, tell me about Daniel. His qualities, his character, his work.
Daniel is friendly and popular and keeps me young. So
Explain.
I learn all the new lingo from Daniel.
Such as?
Oh gosh, what did he teach me? We talked about Riz lately. He taught me what Riz means.
What does that even mean?
It's short for charisma.
Oh, okay.
You got the Riz. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's charisma. It's
what
swagger.
Else? What else is he showing you?
Oh God, I can't keep up with all of it.
He's got a whole dictionary.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, why are the kids saying this nowadays? But yes,
well, let me remind you, you're only 30. And
I know. I feel old. Okay.
54.
Well, now you know Riz.
Well, the fact of the matter is, you know what? There was a point in my life in which I'd like to learn from older people.
Yeah.
Then my daughter was born.
Yeah.
And when she was about 10 or 12, I decided to say, let me learn from her.
Yeah.
Because this is their world. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good move.
It's fantastic. He teaches me a lot.
So you have Brad and Jen, your sister
Emma,
and your brother
Daniel.
3 things
that
you have categorically learned from your family
that
has given you the opportunity to shine in the world.
Especially in the fitness industry, and we can get to that later, but speaking truth and vetting your information before you share it with others to prevent misinformation. I'm very, very thankful that was instilled in me at a young age.
And the second thing?
That when something gets hard, it doesn't mean you stop. You know what I mean? And
the third thing that you could say that you learned from your family that has brought you into the world with something to offer.
How to get along with different personalities, even if you don't enjoy it.
So first one was
vetting information.
The second was
go through the hard things.
Go through the hard things. The third was
meshing with personalities that you don't necessarily enjoy.
Well, those are qualities unique to great trainers.
Yes.
Because we receive a person that is fairly wounded with dreams and hopes.
Sure.
Bring their hard-earned money, so we have to be able to be truthful, to tolerate difficult things and go with them, and also to adapt.
That's right.
No wonder why you're a coach.
That's right.
So now you're born in Ohio, and then how old were you when you moved to Michigan?
We were 2.
2 years old. So in Michigan, you moved from Ohio. Where in Ohio and where in Michigan?
Dayton, Ohio to Flint, Michigan.
Flint.
Not Flint. With the water.
Well, not only the water.
I know.
Remember the movie? The movie. With Will Ferrell, the basketball movie, Semi-Pro.
I haven't seen it.
You have to watch.
I will watch it.
It's staged on Flint, Michigan.
Oh no!
In the 1970s, when the ABA turned into the NBA.
Okay.
Flint. So tell me your memories about Flint. Tell me, you mentioned that you got involved with sports. Tell me childhood memories. Talk to me.
Flint was before any of the sports happened, but so I don't know if you've heard about the crime in Flint.
I've heard of crime in Michigan,
and
especially Detroit and some areas.
And Flint is high. I mean, Flint is really high crime rates, and I actually remember seeing fights like when we would be driving down the street. I would look out and see. I mean, just out in the open. That's one of my most early memories too.
So it's a very difficult place to navigate. And what do you think that is?
That's a great question. I don't know exactly where Flint is right now in terms of its economic status or, demographics, but it was hard. It was, and the neighborhood we grew up in was rough. It was, I went back recently a couple of years ago to visit, and I was driving through.
And you're like, wow.
And it's, as a kid, you're like, this is nice, and we have a little yard, and we have a garden, and then I'm driving through, I'm like,
how did I make it out of here?
It's rough. It was a little scary, but we survived. So
you went to Flint when you were 2. Until what age were you there? And what are your early memories of things other than crime?
Other than crime, we had races. So my parents would run 10-milers every year, and we would train for them with them. And I was being homeschooled at the time.
Wow. Homeschooling all?
Homeschool all the way up through 3rd grade.
And in 3rd grade,
we moved to another town in Michigan.
Oh, what is the name of that town?
Alma.
I never heard of it.
It's 5,000 people. Yes.
Okay, so from Alma.
Yeah.
So, well, until what age were you there? Where you guys move after?
We were there until 2007.
And that's when you guys
That's
moved
when we came here.
By that time, you are now what, 13?
13.
High
Yeah.
school. But tell me about that transition.
So from 7th to 8th grade was when we moved that summer between 7th and 8th. So I started fresh here, and it was hard. There were already a lot of insecurities at this point in my life. I had already kind of had a little bit of a negative relationship with my body. So already by this age, I was running because I didn't like what size I was. You know what I mean? There were already some unhealthy food habits.
Can you tell us more in
Yeah,
detail about
absolutely. So, I mean,
when did that feeling start and what triggered it?
I remember comparing myself to the size of other girls when I was 5 or 6. So I had some pretty unhealthy thoughts about myself, and I already hated the way that I looked when I was like 6 or 7 years old, you know? And obviously looking back at photos, I'm like, what was I worried about? You know, I was a kid.
Ideas are like a virus. They
Yeah.
spread and they possess
Right.
your opinion and whatnot.
Right.
So, but what do you think triggered that feeling? Is it something that someone said?
Yeah, I think honestly it was seeing my mom wanting to lose weight and seeing her exercise for the purpose of losing weight mostly, or at least that's what I picked up on. A lot of I remember grocery shopping with my mom at 6 or 7 and looking at like the calories on all the food packages and like tallying up in a day.
So in hindsight, naturally your mom was doing the right thing, trying to be conscious.
Sure.
But maybe mentally you were not prepared to understand the reason behind it. I was, I don't like myself. It's more like I want to better myself.
Yes, like I've been very, very fortunate to have that education very early, but I wasn't in a good place to use perspective.
Okay,
and understand that I was 6 years old.
If you're 6, perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective goes as far as what kind of
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts.
That's exactly right. Exactly. Which one has less calories? Like.
So now you how did that affect you through your development as a young girl and then as a teen and whatnot? That you feel like that probably made you agonize over that process. What can you tell us about it?
I think I was incredibly insecure. I think that a lot of my friendships were based on like, well, if I'm friends with this person, it's because they accept me based on what I look like. And if this person doesn't like me, it's because they also see what I see. You know what I mean? Just the disorder.
You're projecting.
Yeah, I was totally projecting. And a lot of insecurities around boys, a lot of insecurities around my friends. And it just was, a lot of my friends felt and thought the same way. So I think
it was a mob psychology.
Reinforced by my friends, which was unfortunate.
Okay.
But I think that's common.
Things that you believe that you did that the were provoked by the way you felt, maybe like some people do. They go days without eating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a journal from 8th grade, and this was after I left Michigan, but I have a journal, like a school planner from 8th grade, and there's a year where I wrote down my weight every single day in 8th grade and like tracked my average loss or gain over the week. And I'm like, I was still growing. You know what I mean?
13, 14.
Yeah, I was still growing. I think I grew an inch that year.
Okay.
But I didn't want to get any weight.
And when it comes to people, things that they said or perceptions that they created about you, did it affect you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I let things get to me all the time.
Okay.
Even little comments. Like I remember, it's crazy that I still remember this, but I remember in 8th grade, one of the girls in class said out loud, we were like all working in groups, and she said, I just hope to never reach the triple digits in weight. Like she was still under 100 pounds, and she never in her life wanted to get into. And I was like, I was 120 at 5'8", which is not. I was by no
absolutely not.
I was by no means supposed to be watching my weight at that point in life, but I was.
Well, it's the reality is that that's the kind of stuff that we as professionals have to overcome in order to have comprehension.
Sure.
And be able to help somebody navigate out of that feeling. So,
sure.
In a way, which is what I preach to my clients and co-workers and employees, that don't be afraid to use your life experiences that helped you overcome in order to guide others. So, so sports. Did you play sports in middle school and high school?
I did. I started sports in Alma, so the second place in Michigan. I started basketball. I started track. I think I did maybe a season of volleyball or so, but Yeah, and that's when I really started getting into sports. I started ballet, and I loved ballet.
How old were you when you did ballet?
Maybe like 10, 11, 12, 13, that age group.
That's a beautiful age for that.
It was so fun. I had such a fun time.
And then how long did you do dance ballet?
Until we moved to Phoenix.
2007.
Yes.
So it was about 5 years of that.
Yes.
That's great discipline. And then sports here in Arizona, which ones did you play? How long did you play? What level did you reach?
I did volleyball in just 8th grade. And then when we got to high school, we did pick 2.
Okay.
So I chose basketball and track.
Okay.
Loved them.
Those are great sports.
Had a blast, especially with track. I will say I did basketball mostly because my friends did basketball. But track was my.
So what you're basically saying is that you sucked at basketball.
I sucked at basketball.
Okay. Because
absolutely hated it.
When you say I did it because my friends
did it,
you sat your ass on the bench the whole
right.
time.
And also there was this little part of me that was, you need to do this to stay in shape for track. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha.
So it was my friends are doing this. I'm not going to play a whole lot, but the conditioning will keep me in shape.
Good.
And that way I won't get out of shape for track, and also for body reasons. You know.
Were you doing short distance, long distance? What were you running?
I was running 400, 800, and 300 hurdles.
You're certainly gonna get in shape.
Ugh.
You're gonna have condition if you do.
You have to.
And tell me about it. How many races did you participate in? Where something that you felt like you were competing, and how was that experience?
We went to state. Well, I went to state with my team every year, but freshman year was my favorite. I wasn't supposed to run the 400. They didn't know that I could run the 400, and we had the 4x4 relay. Mm-hmm. One of our girls was injured, and so my coach goes,
"I'm up.
All right, get in there." And I'm like, "I don't know how to run this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do."
Just go for it.
And that's so
do your best.
My best friend in track. His name is Jay Leary. I love you, Jay. He was so cute. He was 1 year above me, and he was phenomenal, absolutely stellar athlete to this day. Phenomenal. And he came over to me and was like, "All right, I'm going to talk you through this. And this isn't for every race, but this is for this race. The first 100, yep, you already know. The first 100, the second 100, do this, and then the last 200 or 150, just bring it home." And he ran on the inside of the track with me the entire race. Like, he saved my, and
a lot of people don't understand
no.
the strategic game plan that goes into running. Even the 100 meters is you have to understand your splits.
Yep.
You have to understand your stamina. You have to study the opponent.
Yep.
But you also got to run your race.
Yep. That's right.
So you ran up until what, your senior year in high school?
Mm-hmm. Apparently I did very well at that first 400 because that was my race from then on. So my coach was like, "Well, you did that very well. You're in." And I'm like, "Oh no." Why? I didn't want to do that good. I just wanted to
it's almost like sticking it to you because it happens that everybody wants to have the bodies of the sprinters, not the long distance or mid. No, you don't want that. So, along with that, were you doing any sort of like following a diet, practicing other sports? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I wasn't. I had no idea how to feed my body for sports. I was still in the mentality of less is more. Eat as little as you can. Stay as small as you can. Shrink yourself.
How are you able to use that experience in order to help young men and women understand that they have to eat ample amounts?
You have to eat, and I think I pick up on a lot of those little like subtones from a lot of my clients with, like, they'll say, "Oh, well, I only ate this," and I'm like, "You only ate that on a day that I had you do sprints in the morning and I had you lift in the evening. How did your lift go?" "Oh, well, I didn't lift as heavy as I normally do." Because you're not eating, you know what I mean? And it's kind of the tendency to binge and purge also becomes greater when you're restricting yourself for that long. Enjoy it.
So when you finished high school, did you go to college?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I went to NAU, Northern Arizona University.
Okay.
And I failed out in 3 semesters.
Okay.
I think that something that I wish that I had in high school was the ability to make a little more mistakes of my own.
Okay.
Because I went a little crazy, just being so sheltered.
Okay.
And having no responsibility or like decision making on my own. to
Okay.
having all freedom and
You know,
all.
so tell me about your struggles. What were your struggles in college?
I was unable to focus on anything at all. I was prioritizing having fun. I set way too many goals for myself. I had been a very high achiever in high school, and then I assumed that that would carry over to college. And so I set all these 8 a.m. classes for myself and never went to any of them. And it was a disaster. And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's hard to go to an AM class when you go to bed at 4 a.m.
at 4 a.m. or don't go to bed. You know, it's really hard to go to class. So
So you went to school for kinesiology
I did.
there.
Yep.
And so you said you went 3 semesters, and then
3
what?
semesters and failed out.
How did you bounce back?
It took almost a decade. I then went to community college in Flagstaff because I couldn't face myself coming home. You know, I couldn't face my
It
parents and
was
tell
sense of
them.
failure.
Yeah,
You say?
absolutely. And it was a little bit of like avoiding the difficult conversations, um, and avoiding the accountability. Because while I was there, I did have some traumatic things happen as well that weren't my fault. I did survive 2 assaults.
Wow.
And so going through that, it was kind of, I wasn't able to separate this happened to me and this was not my fault, but also separately, I was not putting myself in a good place. You know what I mean?
Now I'm gonna ask you about this.
Yeah.
If I need to cut it off of the
No,
interview,
you're good.
we'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the tough
Okay.
questions. Can you share with us
Yeah.
those experiences and within their possibilities, and most importantly, how were you able to overcome those challenges? Tell me
Yeah.
about the whole process.
Yeah. So, the most memorable experience I will say happened after a frat party, and it happened while I was taking care of my friend who was severely intoxicated, and I was being a mom to her and putting her to bed, and I was left by myself, and that happened. And I was threatened afterwards with, if you expose this, I'll ruin your life. And, this could cost me my fraternity position and like all, you know what I mean? Just threats and intimidation. And that carried on for after over a year afterwards as well. So that did not stop. And then the second experience happened before that. And it wasn't until I had gone to therapy that I realized that that was an assault as well, because this person lied to me about who they are.
Okay.
And so
So it's bait and switch.
that's right. Well, lying to
This
me
is who
about
I am.
like
This is
like
what I expect.
name and everything.
Oh,
Like
wow.
lied to me
So
about
the
who they
person
are.
impersonated
That's right.
someone
That's right.
completely different from
So
who
my
that person
therapist
was.
basically was like, that's part of it. Informed consent is you agreeing to have a relationship with who you understand them to be, and because they were completely hiding their identity from you, you were not.
And
That
what
is
do you
not
think
that.
that person? Was it because of your age?
It's because he was engaged.
Oh wow! So well, you know what? It seems to me that for the most part, I was explaining to someone, and I want to thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you, but
Thank
most
you.
importantly, makes me proud to see the person who you are.
Thank you.
And I hope that you use your success to share with young women and men
Absolutely.
about your experiences and how to overcome it. What do you think allowed you to overcome? Was it the therapy? Was it anything that you did?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, so because of my avoiding side of things, I'd avoided that discomfort and acknowledging what happened. I blamed myself for a long time. And so I was in this process of saying, no, that didn't happen. That was your fault. You put yourself in that situation. That was all because of you. It was because of your choices. You deserve this. It was a lot of that,
So
right?
you are naturally taking
Yes.
personal accountability.
Yeah,
It's a double-edged sword.
it is.
So
It is. And so, which, now looking back, none of that's true. You know what I mean?
of
No,
course,
right. But when I got kicked out of college, that was actually the best thing to happen to me. So I got kicked out because my grades were terrible, and I moved in with 3 girls who are now my best friends. And they took me in. They were like, "Don't worry about it. We'll get you back on your feet." Helped me get into community college. That started
So your healing process
for
started
sure.
there.
One of the girls had been through a similar situation to me, and seeing her have panic attacks and relive her
The
experience,
trauma.
I couldn't hide what had happened to me. I was like, wow, I'm watching someone deal with this in real time. this is exactly how I feel. This is exactly how my body's reacting. You know, I can't pretend like that's not what I'm going through right now. And so she was very helpful in how do I find a therapist? How do I survive this? You know, and she was 8 years post her experience. I mean, this is long term. So I think that seeing that type of response so many years afterwards,
it put in perspective, you know,
yeah,
the scope
yep,
of trauma.
yeah,
I mean, it's like I said, you know, it's difficult because I can say I understand.
sure,
I have comprehension. I'm a father. My daughter's 24
sure,
years old. I have sisters.
yeah,
I was so close growing up to my sisters and my mom and my
absolutely,
grandma. I understand the challenges that
yeah,
many women have and the silence that they have to,
yep,
you know, exercise to that for shame,
yeah,
for threats, for
absolutely.
fear of retaliation. So, what do you think ultimately allowed you to flourish?
It wasn't. It doesn't get better until after I moved to Phoenix, unfortunately. So it was a lot of coping, and I was not well until I want to say 2017. And this is
Okay.
now when I'm in community college in Flagstaff. This is now 2014 ish.
Yeah, now you're what,
20 years old.
24,
20 years old.
20 years old. And yeah, I mean, then you moved to Phoenix, what year?
End
2017,
of 2014, actually.
end of 2014. So, what happened in Phoenix?
So I moved to Phoenix. I start, well, end of Flagstaff when I am in community college. I'm also meeting my first fitness industry mentor. So I meet
Okay, who's that?
Coach Sarah. She's
Okay,
amazing.
okay.
Um, she was, and this is another woman in the industry. So now I'm meeting my second like
You know,
woman in the industry to look up to. And she basically was so kind and took me under her wing and was like, I could see that you want to be a personal trainer. I'm going to teach you what to do. I'm going to give you the responsibility of watching how I handle clients, and you can observe and you can come hang out at my gym. And she was really like
what
a
gym
second
was
home.
that?
Build Your Own Body in Flagstaff.
Is it still open?
I don't think so. She moved down here recently.
Okay.
So, but that was iconic. I mean, that was so sweet of her. And that's exactly, I needed someone to just hold my hand and say, you're going to be okay.
And, you know, it's funny how that happened.
Yes.
Because we all had one of those.
Yes.
That's what we have to pay it forward.
Yep. Exactly.
And then, are you still in contact with her?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yes.
So she introduced you to the let me put your hands on this process.
Yes.
And what else did you learn with her?
I think more than anything, she taught me that I was trustworthy, because I think after failing out of school and blaming myself for things that weren't my fault, I think I saw myself as not worth the fitness industry, or untrustworthy, or, you know,
You had
not worthy.
imposter syndrome.
I did. And she saw something in me and believed in it and gave me more responsibility than I deserved at the time, but trusted me. And that was all I needed, was one person to look at me and say, like, you can do this, and I got you.
So build your own body. In addition to learn from her, what else did you do there?
She started training me for my first competition.
Okay.
And in that process was when I did decide to move to Phoenix, but she still worked with me. So
did you make you clean the gym and organize it and clean the bathrooms and whatnot?
She was way too nice to me. No, I probably owe her from that. Like, don't give her any ideas.
So were you trying to become a personal trainer by way of getting certified, or your college education took care of that?
It was a little bit of both. So while I wasn't in college, I learned from her, and she had her own certification type program that she kind of put me through. And that was great. And then that's when I moved down to Phoenix and took my first initial clients and met you at Metroflex.
You move here, you've been coach for a show.
Sure.
What were you trying to compete? What were you trying to do?
So I had no idea what shows were all about. It was very new. But Sarah had competed back in the day, and she had done very well in figure. Actually, she went to nationals, and so I wanted to do what Sarah did, and so I went for figure and sucked. Okay. My first show was a disaster.
Oh no, it was your first show. Is the first show, and to be quite honest, it
was a mess.
I mean, you made it with just the whole thing. Like, put your feet in the water, see how it works, and then see what you're at, and then go from there.
Yeah.
So, what show was that? What year was that? Who was organizing it?
That was the 2015 Felicia Romero.
Oh my God! You couldn't have entered a worse show because
I know.
that is on record one of the largest amateur shows in the history
Are
of
you
the
kidding me?
MPC. Anywhere there are 590 athletes on that show.
That was my
It
first
broke
one, and I looked
records.
terrible.
How many people were in your class?
So, like 14.
And
As a
you a
novice,
novice,
yes.
yeah, novice. So just so you know, that is on record, and I might be wrong. The largest non-pro qualifying
Oh
show
my God.
in the history of the MPC.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, the largest number of athletes.
Go figure.
Yes,
I would pick that. So
yeah,
that's
so
what we did.
I remember at that show, I had about 20 some clients. So
Oh
you
my
mentioned Metroflex.
Yes.
So I remind me of that experience. I know I was there. I had
Yeah.
a lot of clients during that time.
Yeah.
I was probably 100 clients deep. I had a secretary and an assistant manager, trainer.
hmm
Those are amazing times out there.
That was a good time.
That was amazing there. So tell me about why did you end up over there?
I wanted to find like a bodybuilding gym similar to Sarah's place, and that was one that I visited early and fell in love with. It was exactly the vibe I was looking for, and I just, I really liked the community at that time. It was great. It was really
And were
fun.
you working on your own there, or you
I would,
hire a coach or somebody to work
yeah,
with
I
you?
just worked on my own. Sarah was still directing what I was doing from Flagstaff, so she would send me programs, and I would do them on my own and check in with her, kind of like online kind of things.
Remind me of how we met.
I think that you just are super friendly and say hi to everybody, and
For
so
sure.
as a regular, you would recognize
Hey,
me.
what's
Yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah,
How
yeah,
you
yeah,
doing
yeah,
today,
yeah, yeah,
stranger?
yeah. And I would just have like, it was so informal. I wouldn't even call them clients. I would like basically train my friends for free, just to get some experience. So I remember, this is like my first real memory of you, is I had one of my best friends to this day. I call her my big sister. I was training her after her first baby, and I'm having trouble getting her to squat. Like, I'm having trouble teaching her the movement pattern. And I remember I see you in the corner and you like beeline over to us. You're like, try this. And you have her like put her arms up like this and squat, and she squats perfectly.
Okay.
And I was like, this guy.
Also, after 30 some years of doing this stuff, it's almost like you understand the codes of mechanics and
It
whatnot.
was so funny. I still use that as a cue.
Excellent.
I'm like, that was 10 years ago. Like, that's just 2015.
I'm so
nine years ago.
I'm so grateful that was a positive experience.
So funny.
I do have to say that unfortunately at times we, as authorities, we forget that the client has, and everybody has the right to suck until they give you permission to help.
That's right.
And I'm sorry that I probably didn't even ask.
I was so thankful. I think you did ask, actually.
Okay.
I think you did.
I do
was
believe.
so thankful. I was just happy that she could. I'm like, okay, you can squat. Here we are.
So now you're a Metroflex. Moving on, you're practicing for you to become a trainer. You're getting ready for a show. You go to the Felicia Romero. It was naturally atrocious.
It was awful.
Because you expected to be Miss Olympia in one show, like everybody does.
I was still doing it for the wrong reasons. I still just wanted to be leaner and smaller, not for bodybuilding, but for like, it was a way for me to finally love myself. And that's not, I think you got to love yourself before you go into bodybuilding.
So what was your discovery based on that experience?
That I did not condition enough, okay. And I expected just to
walk into first place.
Sure. And I still had a little bit of like a binging and eating disorder problem,
Gotcha.
And I was not ready.
I will have to say, talking about that, I think that for the most part, my ability to accept and explain to people, hey, if you have those issues, bodybuilding is the perfect medicine.
Yeah.
So if you have eating disorders, you find a way to rearrange with a goal.
Sure.
If you happen to have body dysmorphia, you have the ability to act on it with a positive output. So even with the experience, I've seen so many young women and men who go through the agony of trying to acquire that perfect balance, and they do. I am no different from that.
Right.
I'm a lot of people when you ask them, hey, what do you like to work? Oh, I like to look good. No, I didn't like the way I looked. I did something about it.
That's right.
And that's the discovery that many people find. And bodybuilding is the conduit
Right.
for that. So, first show is over. How did you cope with that experience?
I think I had fun through the process, and I think that it made me want to try again. But I knew that I needed time because at the time I was going through yet another unfortunate situation in my personal life where you actually have met this person. The guy I was dating at the time became abusive, and it escalated at one point when he pulled a gun on me, and
Wow.
just
So
everything was re-triggered.
now you see how important it is. I mean, this is
Yeah.
what validates the reason why I do this
Yeah.
because now this allows me to see you with a whole new lens,
Yeah.
and also uh, my respect to the challenges that obviously you have been able to overcome. And I look forward to see you continue to
Thank you.
flourish
Thank you.
and the bravery that you have to share with us these
Yeah.
experiences in which I don't seem to feel that you're resentful,
No.
but you're like, I went through that shit, I
Yeah.
suffered, and here I am today. So
That's right. That's right.
that's really remarkable,
Thank you.
and thank you for sharing that
Of
with
course,
us.
of course. And it's just like it was the final straw and kind of a
So
string
what
of
year that happened was 2015,
16.
16.
Yep.
And did you ever get your family involved with this event?
No, because I think I was trying to, again, avoid and lie and pretend like that relationship was something it wasn't, pretend like this was a good thing and
I'm
pretend.
talking about those three separate
Oh,
events.
that's right.
So, but at what point did your family found out of all the things that you were doing?
I think kind of in the middle of this abusive relationship, I came out to my parents and said, "Hey, this happened to me in college a couple of years ago." And I think the initial fear was because in the church and the Christian community, the purity culture is very prevalent.
The unclean
That's right.
woman.
And so I didn't want to be labeled as that by my parents, and I was afraid of that label. Um, and that did that did happen a little bit. We've worked through that, but there was an initial reaction of disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that was, I
Was it
think,
disappointment because you didn't come through and come clean and say what maybe, or disappointment because of your actions? What do you think
I
that?
think that's probably was
Okay,
initially part of it. Mm-hmm.
like your poor judgment, I
Sure,
guess.
sure, sure. And I think, of course, my parents were protective and crushed for me, but I
Hmm.
think a little bit was okay. Well,
You brought this upon
that's
yourself.
right. A little bit, a fraction. I don't think that they feel that way anymore, but I think that a small percentage of that was what I was afraid of, and a little bit of that came true.
Have you ever asked your parents if they
Oh yeah,
themselves were individuals who were abused?
and they were.
That's one thing that we all have in common:
That's right.
suffering, and sometimes we want to put it on that room in which we hide these
Yeah,
feelings. And in reality, that's utterly intimate, but
yeah,
utterly universal
yeah,
at the same time. Is the one thing that we all experience is suffering.
yeah.
And the fact that we have to conceal it to save face, to put up appearances, and one that I believe is what puts these feelings in a fermenting state that they actually become something that can affect us. So
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. I'm grateful that I have parents that allowed me to grow out of my insecurities. But the fact of the matter is, like, sometimes we look across from those people we call mom and dad, and we
Yeah,
don't know that they had to go through things maybe worse than we did,
absolutely.
and they rise up to bring us forth without having to make that part of the equation.
That's
So,
right.
so what year was that? Now, 2017.
16 is when I left that awful relationship. And I think that that's when things in me switched. That was the final straw. I think that I'm someone who I got pushed one time too many and became who I needed to be. I became someone who could survive this stuff instead of becoming weaker and weaker.
So, what was the character adjustment that you believe that you made enough for you to say, hey, you know what, this is enough. This is not going to happen
I think I got angry for myself, and angry that I had been pushed around so many times. And I became like an advocate for myself.
Okay.
And I had to get mean. You know what I mean? I mean, like I cut people off and I, you know, I threatened with legal action, and I got out, and that was the best thing I could have done.
So that's what you suggest to victims of.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do not and leaving. It's hard because I want to say get out and leave, but the statistics show that leaving an abusive relationship is the most dangerous part.
Yes,
That
I
is.
heard that. Tell me about that.
Yes.
Why do you think that is? What do you think that is it the victim feeling like they are responsible, or the victim trying to justify the actions of the perpetrator? What do you think that is?
When the victim decides that they want to leave, it's the highest risk for homicide because the perpetrator no longer has someone to abuse, and they don't want to lose their victim.
So they throw everything at you.
And they could kill. It's when most people die, and most people never get out.
So how did you get out of it?
I asked for, with the help of my therapist. So I was in therapy at this time. With the help of my therapist, I asked for a month-long break. No talking, no contact. He obviously couldn't do that. And during that time, I was getting ready to be separate completely. So I think that month-long break was a good middle ground of like, get used to not seeing me all the time. And that month it didn't go well. And that was kind of my testing period. Like, let's see how he handles this. Showed up to my work, showed up to my house. I found things of mine missing. I found his stuff in my house when I had already taken it out. So he had been in my house, like he was breaking into my house.
It's pretty unsettling.
Yes. And so that was, and I obviously, he couldn't even respect a month break. So I was like, this is done.
What was the first indication of things of improvement in your life?
I dyed my hair black.
Okay.
And that is more significant than it sounds. That was huge. That was huge. This is my favorite thing I've ever done. And I think it was this act of rebellion because as a natural redhead, I had always been told, never dye your hair. It's so pretty. Never do, you know what I mean? And so I was like, you know what? I went to my hairstylist and I was like, I need to see someone else in the mirror every day. If I'm ever going to be stronger, if I'm ever going to be better, I need to see someone different. And he got it. And we dyed my hair dark. And I've never gone back. And it is like a constant reminder of strength in a way. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I understand, like people are like, bring the red back. And I have no need, honestly.
There's a phrase that I read in one of John Maxwell's books, Today Matters, that really helped me with my own challenges in life. He said, though you can't go back and get a brand new start, you can always start now and build a brand new end. Mm-hmm. And I believe that we have that right, given by God to say, today I decide to become what I've always wanted, something different, something new, something fresh. So
that's right.
I'm excited to continue to hear your story.
Yes.
So what happened after the black sheep?
No, seriously.
Pop out.
It was
crazy. Here I go, world.
It's like something switched in me. It was like I didn't take shit from people anymore. You know what I mean? I started standing up for myself, and it was probably subconscious. I mean, obviously that was always inside of me, but seeing somebody else in the mirror or seeing a different version of myself helped me get there.
Like I created this version.
Yes.
I didn't have to accept it the way it was.
That's right. And it's my favorite thing I've done. I mean, it's, and I explained, I thought my parents would be upset. I explained to them, I said, I'm doing this because I need to start standing up for myself. And they were very supportive. And my parents, they love it, honestly. They've never asked me to change my hair back to red because they've seen this shift in my personality and in my ability to be my own advocate and to run my own life.
So funny that I got you on this interview because you looks like you're about to enter the prime of your life.
Yeah, I would hope so.
So I remember parts of what you explained. Then one day I decided to open this show, and you show up here with your boyfriend, who's now your husband.
Yes. So that was what, 2019?
Yeah. I opened unofficially December 2018, and officially March 2019.
Okay, that makes sense because I was doing a shoot in here after one of my successful shows.
Okay, so tell me about that show first, and tell me how you ended up here.
Yes, so I'd still, we had been like keeping in touch, and I knew of you from Metroflex, and I knew that you were opening this gym, and we had run into each other here and there. And so I'm getting ready to do some photo shoots because I've decided I want to try bodybuilding again after the personality switch. It went very well.
I would never have known that you were going through all that.
That's good. There's
Yeah,
some other
that's good.
there's
That's
some
good.
other things that were helpful as well. We can get to that, but the reason I ended up here was because the photographer I was working with was like, I think it'd be cool to get you in a gym, and I'm like, well, I know of one that just opened. I would love to go see him anyway. Let's see what we can do and work out. And that's one of my favorite photo shoots I've ever done. That's
Awesome.
my
Do you have
profile
some of those
photo.
pictures?
Yeah, my profile
Awesome.
photo was taken on that wall.
Oh, very nice.
It's my favorite. Like and I use that profile photo for everything.
Very nice.
Yes, it's my favorite. It's the best.
So, what show did you do prior to that photo shoot?
It was May 2019. Was it the Dennis James?
The DJ class.
That's right.
Yeah. Was it in Scottsdale?
It was, and then there was Mesa, and then there was one.
Oh yeah, the second
Mesa.
DJ.
Yeah.
I think it was in Mesa. Yes.
Right, and then the Tucson. There was like one that was in Tucson.
The Terminator.
That's right. So we did back to back.
And how did you place there?
The Dennis James, I was over the moon. I placed 4th, which was better than last at my first show.
How many people were in that class? 5?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, God, no. Come on, give me a look on it. I think 8 or 9.
Okay,
8 or 9.
You felt validated.
I felt validated.
It's like, shit, I made it.
I was just happy. I was just happy to be in top 5. I was like, let's go. And then in Tucson, there were only 2, but I placed 1st. So
listen,
we'll allow it. We'll allow it. Okay, it's first. She's naturally qualified. Okay.
Listen, you can go on and tell people there were 45 women.
Yes.
I took first place.
Like home. Yes.
So the photo shoot took place. Was it a Sunday?
It was a Sunday because you were.
Yeah, I had to open. Right. I had to open for you. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I met Sebi.
Yes.
Tell me about Sebi. When did Sebi come into your life?
Sebi came into my life in 2017. So I was not supposed to work that night.
That's just usually how it happens.
I know. And he came in, and he had just moved down from Georgia.
Okay.
And so he was just like everybody else at first, and he was like, "Let me buy you a shot," and I was like, "You're so annoying." And so he comes back, he gives me his number, and he's inebriated beyond belief. And I'm like, "This is funny." He's like, "Let me take you on a date." He gives me his number on a little napkin, and his name says Seve. His name is Sevi. But I'm like, is this guy so drunk that he misspelled Steve? I was like, this idiot. I was like, I'll give him a call. I'll text him, whatever. I'll think about it.
Hey,
Steve. So I put his phone number in my pocket, and I go about my business. And I get off work, and I'm like, that guy was kind of funny. I think he was nice. You know what I mean? He wasn't creepy. He didn't give me creepy vibes. That's rare. I'll give him that.
So you drank the Kool-Aid?
No. I checked my pocket, and the number's gone.
Oh shit!
And so he doesn't come back for months because he thinks he's like embarrassed. Yeah, he's like, no, I can't go back. He doesn't come back for months. So he finally comes back. It's like 6 months. The total first meeting to this is like 6 months total.
Now it's 2018.
It's end of 2017. So it started in summer.
Gotcha.
And I run up to him.
Hey, dude.
I'm so sorry.
May I please have your number again?
I said that. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I promise. Like, if you're still single, like whatever." He's like, "I am." I'm like, "Can I please have your number again?" So I save it this time, and I text him. He has a text like 2:55 a.m. like right after I get off work. And I say, "Hey, this is Olivia from the bar. Try not to lose my number this time." We've never spent a day apart since.
So what was your first date? I mean, I'm not trying to, but
Steve over here. It turns out it was Sevi.
All right. So what did he take you? Tell me about it.
We went downtown. He lived in a high-rise downtown, and that's where I bartended. So we went out one night downtown. It was super fun. He's super easy to talk to. He just really very chill. Very opposite of me, and it works out well. It's a good balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would never want to date someone like myself. So.
A lot of people get it wrong because they want somebody just like themselves.
Yeah.
I tell people often, you got the mirror there every day. Why would you want to have something?
That's right.
Just like you.
That's right. And so he works with computers. I work with people. He's quiet. I'm not. It works out really well.
So you guys came in that time. You do your photo shoot, and at that time you were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right? Probably a year into your relationship.
Roughly a year. Yeah. A little less. A little less.
And I see that you have this beautiful ring on
Thank
your
you.
finger. Tell me
Yes.
about it.
Yeah. So we got engaged in 2022.
Tell me about the proposal.
He took me right back to our first date spot downtown.
Oh wow!
And we got coffee at the same place. He takes
Were
me
you
to that.
suspecting anything?
Actually, no, not at all. It was. I mean, I knew it was coming up, but he threw me off. So he took me right to the exact spot, and he got down on one knee and asked me to marry him. I said yes. Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your life the last 5 years.
Sure. So well, when I moved down to Phoenix, and when I met you, right after Metroflex, I got a job at LA Fitness. And that job at LA Fitness in 2016, 2017, I still have most of those clients. So that's
Which
what
LA Fitness was that?
32nd and Indian School, or Camelback.
Oh, that one is closed
It
now.
is. It is now.
It used to be a 24-hour
That's right.
fitness, and they bought
That's
it
right.
out.
That's right. So
Wow.
then when it transitioned to LA, I know. So that's where I was at first. And then I went to my first small private gym, and then I went to Heights. So
what was that gym?
Fit Crew.
Fit Crew.
30,
that one.
32nd and yeah.
I think it's still there, right?
It is. Yes.
So,
yeah.
What's next for you?
Master's degree.
And then what's next in business? What's next in education? What's next in relationship?
Yeah.
So you told me that you were going to enter a half marathon or a marathon?
Yes, so I'm training for my second half marathon right now.
And then it's going to be overseas?
That is my full marathon.
Okay, that's what. Tell me about how you're going to create a split.
So last year, one of my clients wanted to run a half marathon. And I had stopped running since high school, really. Mm-hmm. And so I said, okay, if you do it, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sure enough, she did it. She did it. And it's the first time that I've ever run without the goal of making myself smaller, which is really fun. I just want to run because I want to be good at running. You know what I mean? Really refreshing. It's really nice to not have to train for some size. So it turns out I'm pretty good at running when I focus on it, which is great. So we ran our first half marathon last year. Second one is coming up in February of this year, so 2 months away. And first full marathon is in June of this year.
Wow. And then you said that you're going overseas for
Stockholm.
Stockholm.
Mm-hmm.
Sweden. Do you have any family from Sweden?
My best friend is from Sweden.
Okay,
so running it with her.
And what time of the year would that be?
It's gonna be summer for them, I think, but it's like 60 degrees out there in the summer. Beautiful.
It's like winter here.
It's winter here, which is my favorite. I want to do winter all year.
And Sebi got married already?
Yes.
Tell me about that. We'll talk about my man Sebi.
So we got married in 2022.
Congratulations.
October.
You don't remember.
Well, the reason I don't remember is because we had 2 weddings.
Oh, wow.
So the first one, we bought a house, and we had everyone over for our housewarming party. And one of my friends from college, the 3 best friends that I moved in with that picked me up when I was at my lowest, they all came out. One of them is ordained.
And it's like, let's make this happen right now.
And so we had a plan, me and her. We always have a plan together. We're like known for pulling the prank on everybody. And so we get out there, and I'm like, all right, family photo, everybody get it. My parents are there. We got our best friends there. And she goes, and I have something to say.
By the power.
That's right. By
the power.
She goes into it. Everybody's face. It's the best photo. It's so funny. So we did our secret surprise wedding, legally married. Then a year from that date is when we planned our actual,
And where was the wedding?
The real wedding, the big wedding, was at the Ice House downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
Gorgeous. I'll give you one guess on what color my dress was. Not
black.
White. That's right.
I mean, that transformation you're talking about,
That's right.
it's only fitting that the new you says, you
black
the hell with it, black it
That's
is.
right. That's right. And it was fun. It was very us. It was very unique. It was very us.
Yeah, so what are your future plans? Now, closing, because it looks like you've come full circle, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do this interview. Anything, there's so many things that we miss out every time we have an opportunity to talk.
Sure.
About ourselves, because it takes a village for sure to bring a human to a certain level of success.
Sure.
I want you to look at the camera and one by one mention the names of those people that you love, that done so much for you, and closing with that.
the obviously my family, who I've already mentioned and thanked, and those 3 lessons that I told you that they taught me was just so fundamental to who I am. But on top of that, Sebi gets an obvious mention as a constant support. Matt, my gym owner, he is half the reason that I read as much as I do. My professors, we've got Kristen, Tana, Chris, Ron, who I hope to work with in the future. Just everybody is like, I'm so lucky, especially through social media, to have such great connections and learn so much from people who are doing the work right now and writing the books right now and doing research currently. Yeah, it's been amazing, and I'm just lucky to have the connections I do. My therapist gets a huge shout out. Thank you, Michael.
All right. Well, I am so honored
I'm honored
to have you here. It's every time I do one of these interviews, is that reconfirmation of God, I'm grateful that I came up with this stupid idea. And to me, it's like I really don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I'm grateful that I get to do this and share this moment with you that hopefully will last a lifetime. Hopefully, we can do a second interview, which you and I can share about more incredible achievements and milestones in your life. And I want to close telling the fellows of Arizona Fitness Biography, thank you so much for tuning in. You know how this works. We build a community. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and let's make sure that let's say one of my interviewees, Leanne Thompson said, I'm going to tell people so when they're bored doing cardio to watch my interview.
That's right.
So there you go. Let's watch this interview.
That's right.
Let's share these stories. If you, the viewer, has something that you drew from it for this incredible story, please make some comments and let's share this beautiful moment. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. You're epic.
Thank you so much. And like I said, to all watching Arizona Fitness Biography, thank you so much for your time. I'm not a professional. I'm just a dude in his gym saying to my friends, coming over, let's talk about you. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the next interview. Olivia, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.